Hi everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. My name is Stacy. Today is August 1st, and if you stuck with me through my entire series of Christmas in July, thank you very much. And I would love to see you post in the comments below about which project was your favorite. That just gives me a direction to go if I decide to do it again next year. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed crafting with y'all and interacting with you all on your comments. So I thought I would give you one more bonus project here as part of my wrap-up video. And this is inspired by a decoration I saw in a Christmas movie because, you know, it's been Christmas in July on the Hallmark Channel as well, and I'm a sucker for those Hallmark Christmas movies. So here comes this bonus project. Dollar Tree DIY. You need a package of the Towering game blocks from the Dollar Tree. You don't need the whole thing, just a few. And you need one of these bags of little wood pieces. They're called wood stems. These are found in the floral section where like the flat backed marbles and the sand and the colored rocks and whatnot, where those are found. And look for a bag that has kind of an assortment of sizes because we're going to be making a little wooden frame with the Jenga blocks and then slicing these and filling in between. So first of all, let's just get started with our Jenga blocks. The first thing we need to do, and I'm going to use my trusty rusty ruler from the Dollar Tree. If you haven't picked one of these up at the Dollar Tree, grab one because they're very handy. And I've just got some of my gloppy old wood glue that's ready to go in the garbage just about, but it still works. I put it in a cup and I'm using a popsicle stick to spread it on. And you're going to do two groups of two. Whoops, don't do what I just did. This is the one that has the writing on it. I don't want that one. I don't want the writing to show because I'm not going to paint this. Save the ones with the writing on them though, because if you've been watching my series, you know there's a project where I used that up. Okay, so the reason I'm using this ruler is so I can keep this straight and square. I'm pushing against this side of the ruler and down against this side of the ruler all at the same time, as well as pushing it down and making sure that it stays flat. I'm going to wipe off any extra glue and I'm going to roll it over and do the same. And then I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. And I'm going to do that to two pieces. As you'll see in just a moment, I decided to change it and add a third piece to this, so there's three pieces per section. Dry, I'll come back and show you the next step. So these have dried, and now I need to form them in the shape of a Christmas tree. So I've got the two that have glued together, and I've got the bottom. And I'm thinking of gluing it something like that. But like in my reindeer barn video that you may have watched during my series, you need to have somewhere for it to glue. So I'm going to take and trim off the two corners here. Now you can use an X-Acto knife, a box cutter, you can try to use the hacksaw. I don't know if that one will work or not. But what you're going to do is just take off, and this takes a little bit of time, just whittling off the corner a little bit. So all right, while I was away, I decided that I didn't like the two pieces. That it was too short. So I added a third piece on, and I cut my pieces at quite a good angle, and I sanded them down really, really well. This took a little while, but for the next ones I will use, probably use my husband's saw. I did use the hacksaw, and then I used an orbital sander, and I just kind of laid it on it and let it smooth it out. Okay, so it's a pretty sharp cut that you need to make there. And then I took one of the two pieces and I cut off I angled off the corners there. Again, I sanded them up. and they fit right there. That way it gives me more space to work with in the middle. They're just, with this one, like this and that, there just wasn't enough room to work with the decoration inside. So I went up to the 3. I didn't like doing 3 across the bottom because it gave just like a big triangle, and that didn't look as much like a Christmas tree. So I'm going to take my wood glue. I'm going to slather it on, and I'm going to push those together. And I'm going to get some wood glue on this part. Once I got it all hacked apart with the hacksaw, I really needed to sand it, and the sanding is what really finished up the cut and made it fit together better. If you don't have an orbital sander, you can totally do that by hand. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And as you can see, it doesn't fit perfectly. Sometimes try turning it over, because if your angles aren't exactly the same on both sides, then they aren't going to fit together the same on both sides. Okay, so this shifted up a little bit, and I'm okay with that. And this has a little gap, and I'm okay with that. This has a gap up here, so I will probably use some wood filler to fill that in. But I'm going to make sure that there's plenty of wood glue in there. And that actually might even just be enough. Okay, then I just have to let it dry. And we'll be ready to fill the inside. I also thought about putting a stem on it. I think that kind of looks cute. Now I could do it this way, but it's not as deep as it is here. Or I could do it this way, but I think that's a little skinny. Or I could do it this way by doubling 2 up. And I think that that's the one I like the best. This is my second, and I don't like this at all. So I'm going to take 2 blocks and smear, this is on the wide side this time, smear the glue on and sandwich them together. And then once they're together, I'm going to put glue on the end, and I'm going to push it up here. I'm going to go ahead and do this now instead of letting it dry and then gluing again and letting it dry and gluing again. Just giving it some pressure. It's going to squeeze out the extra glue. Just wipe that off. And I'm matching up the seam between the 2 pieces with the seam between the 2 pieces. And I'm going to move it just a little because the glue oozed out and I don't want it to totally glue itself to my wax paper. Okay, so that's the basic form of our tree. And when we get back, I will show you what we're going to do with those little logs. This is going to need a good hour or so to dry, just so it's good and secure. I don't want to go working on it until it's dry. The triangle part of the tree measures 5.5 inches long. All right, my tree has dried for a couple hours now, and the glue is good and solid. So I'm going to look at it and see which side looks best. And I think there's less gaps in this side. I like how the pieces have different tones and different colors. I think that's going to add to this ornament when we're all said and done. I took my hacksaw and I took some of these logs from the package of logs. Okay. And I cut them the width of one of the blocks so that when I'm going to stick them inside here, and they're going to be the same thickness as this is. And I cut some on the hacksaw, and then with the hacksaw, and then I went out and just used my husband's bandsaw and cut them up. But anyway, you want the pieces to be just about as thick as that piece of wood that's making the frame. And it doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfectly straight. They don't have to be exactly the same height, just kind of in the ballpark similar. And then what I did is I went through and I found my 3 or 4 skinniest pieces, and those are what's going to go into each corner. and your skinniest piece needs to go up to the top because that's your skinniest place where you need the smallest, okay? And we're just going to fill this whole thing in with little rounds of wood. And you could use your glue gun for this if you want, but I'm going to use wood glue. And I'm glooping it on pretty thick so that it makes contact in all the different places. Again, I have the dried out clumpy glue. I looked for the other bottle, but I couldn't find it. My husband must have it somewhere. And I'm taking these 3 skinny pieces. Where'd my third one go? And I'm gluing these into the corner. Actually, I liked this one. This one I like because it's got a little knot on it, and that's going to help fill in the corner a little bit. And I like that little speck at the top. Now, I am going to wipe off any extra that goes over the edge, just because I don't want big glue globs. All right. Now I'm going to go with some of my thicker pieces. And I'm just going to put glue all the way around them because I don't know where it's going to make contact with something. And then I need another little skinny one in there. Now, whether you put glue all the way around the edges or what you do with them, that is totally up to you. It's kind of easier to go ahead and put glue all the way around because that way you know that there's glue wherever it's making contact. And I'm pushing kind of hard, getting those things stuck in there. I'm really liking the way this is looking. Now, to figure out, I want as big a piece as I can fit in here, but it needs to fit. Oh, perfect. Squeeze that in. This one was kind of tight, and that's kind of the way I want it. It's tight. All right. Now I just need to let all this glue dry, and I'll have a Christmas tree. Now I'm going to hold this up sideways so you can see not all of those pieces of wood are at the exact same angle. They are on the back because I pushed them in down to the desk, but on the front, they're all uneven, and that's okay. All right, I've got little bits of glue showing, so I'm going to wipe that off as best I can. And I'm going to get a clean popsicle stick to help me do that. I'm just going to kind of rub it off. I want this to look, in the gaps, I want this to look as natural as possible. I could stick a bunch of moss in there, but I don't really want to do that. And I could cut these logs in half so I have half circles, but I kind of didn't want to do that either. So here I am left with some gaps, and that's okay. I think it's good because it makes it look more natural. All right, just going to feed some twine through that gap at the top. And just let it be a natural hanger. I'm going to tie it kind of big. What's nice about these tied on hangers like this is whoever buys it or uses it can personalize the size by just retying the knot. Then if I wanted to, I could put a star up at the top, or I could do 3 fingers would be better. I could do my jute bow. A little natural wooden star would be really cute, but I don't have any of those at the moment. Just gonna glue that on with a glob of my wood glue. It'll take a little while to dry, but that's okay. Not going anywhere anytime soon. All right, just going to press that into the glue. There you go. A 100% Dollar Tree DIY if you buy the wood glue at the dollar store. You could probably even use school glue. My Dollar Tree hasn't been carrying the twine. I hope they're not going to give up on it. But anyway, all of these supplies came from the Dollar Tree, and it just took a little work to get them done, but I think this is a very cute ornament, and I bet I can sell this for at least $5. Didn't cost a lot to make. It just took a little time, and if you don't have a power saw, it is going to take a little time to cut all those circles, but I think it's time well spent. Right, this has been my natural wood Christmas tree project, my wrap up to my Christmas in July series. I hope you've enjoyed the series, and I hope you enjoy this little bonus project. Thank you so much for those of you that subscribed to my channel during this series. My goal was to get 500 subscribers, and I think I'm only like 40 away from my goal, so I'm happy with that. I'll take it. And if you liked a particular project in my series, would you please note that down in the comments for me, so that it gives me some kind of idea what kind of content you like to see on my channel. And keep tuning back in, because I will be continuing with, I've still got Christmas ideas in my head, and I completely sold out of all of my inventory at my Christmas sale last year. It took me by storm. I wasn't prepared, and I left with like 6 tubs of stuff and came home with 1 tub of things that were just, I threw that tub in just in case I needed it, and boy did I need it. So anyway, I have a lot of work to do, so I thought I would share the ideas with you as I create them. So keep checking back. I will be doing a few summer things, and then I'm going to be heading into fall items really soon. I just did a haul from the Dollar Tree for fall, and I can't wait to get started using those. But keep checking back, because there will be lots more Christmas projects posted between now and November, I'm sure. But for all of you that are new subscribers during this last month, thank you so much. And for those that have been with me since the beginning, thank you for sticking with me. And if you like these projects, go ahead and share them with your friends, share them on social media, and send them my way. So this has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.